Hi everybody, how's it going today? Thanks for watching another video. I'm in our parlor here this morning. Got a few lines of cows left to be milked here. We're on the last pen before lunch. We need to do some work in the basement. We're going to replace the plungers and gaskets on our automatic takeoffs downstairs, and I'll explain a little bit more about that when we get down there. But wanted to start the video off by talking about something exciting going on at Cows & Co. If you've only started following along here, this is your first video watching, my sister, brother-in-law, and my mom, they make gelato, Gouda cheese, and for those watching in the Netherlands that always give me slack, Gouda kaas, and cheddar cheese curds. And now recently they have started bottling fluid milk from our cows on the farm. So these girls here currently being milked, their milk is going into those products. But the fluid milk, there's something a little bit different about that milk that I'll try to explain here quickly before we get into the video. On the other side here now, on the north side, these cows just came in, they're just being attached. So the fluid milk that they're bottling is A2A2 milk, and what that means is there's a protein in milk, beta casein protein makes up some of the protein in milk, not all, but there are a couple different variants of that protein. So there's A1 and A2 variants, and milk doesn't look any different, doesn't taste any different, doesn't have any different nutritional value, but there are some studies to suggest that A2A2 variant milk is easier to digest for people, and there's also some other potential benefits from A2. There's been some research done, not a whole lot, but on our farm we've been testing for A2A2 cows for probably 5 years or so now. We have about 75% of our cows that have been tested are A2A2, and we have separated some of those cows and have 2 full pens of A2A2 cows, and at some point, I mean, that number will grow and grow as we're only using A2A2 sires on our farm. So this milk that they are bottling is only being taken from these cows. We're separating that milk and when we're milking those pens, and then they will come pick that milk up from the tank as a separate milk from the rest of the herd. The claims behind A2A2, I have a little bit of experience myself. So our second son Eli, he'd always got skin rashes and diarrhea when we had transitioned him to whole milk from breast milk or from formula. We decided to try A2 milk, and his rashes went away. He didn't really have diarrhea, yellowish poop anymore. And at one point we didn't have access to A2 milk. We used just regular whole milk, and his rashes came back, and his manure instantly was really liquidy, thin, yellow. So there's something to it. It's more than just a claim. Yeah, that's almost I would tell people that if you have trouble with drinking milk, or it gives you an upset stomach, it's definitely worth a try to see if A2 milk would work for you. So there's just a couple lines of cows left here for this pen. They just loaded the other side now, or they are loading the other side, and they start attaching the other side. These cows are just waiting to enter here on this side. So yeah, like I said, if this is the first time watching, if you're interested in getting some of those products that my sister, brother-in-law, and mom make, they make that from a little bit under 1% of the total farm's milk, but it's growing all the time. They deliver to several cities throughout the state of North Dakota. You can order gelato online and ship it directly to your door. You can order cheese online and ship directly to your door. And as of about 2 weeks ago, you could pick up A2A2 milk from their on-farm store here in Carrington. That's just 3 miles east of the farm here, where they have the creamery. and also at their location in Fargo, North Dakota in Bruhala, if you're familiar with Bruhala. And I think the idea going forward is they're going to have those two places stocked, or try to keep them fully stocked as best as they can with A2A2 milk from cows from our farm. Will be in glass bottles. The glass bottles will be recycled and reused, washed and reused. So kind of exciting, adding another a product, and we'll see how it goes. If there's a lot of demand, I'm sure that they will add other cities throughout the state, maybe in their deliveries. We'll just have to see where that takes us. So this pen coming into the parlor here now, these are mid-lactation cows, last pen milked before lunch. So some of these cows would be A2, some would be A1, A2. So we, at this point, have everything. We've got some third lactation cows that have been tested, and everything second lactation and under has been tested. And of those cows that have been tested, about 3/4 of them are A2, and that number will increase as we go forward. Because like I said before, we're only using A2 sires, and as our heifer and young cow population becomes increasingly higher, A2, we will have only A2 calves being born on our farm. What we're working on today, each unit has their own plunger that shuts the vacuum off, so right now there's no vacuum here. Hit the button, and now there's vacuum. So in the basement, each unit has a plunger, and there's a gasket with that plunger, and those need to be replaced every so often, because that gasket can rip, and also that plunger can kind of, it doesn't stay straight and stiff anymore, and it won't seal the vacuum off completely. So that's what we're going to be working here once this last, looks like a handful of cows left here to be milked on the right side. These cows are just about done. They're all starting to come off. So when milk flow gets down to, I mean, when a cow's not quite milked out, we don't milk them out 100%. Then the milk meter will sense that. It will shut that plunger, which shuts the vacuum off, and then it retracts the unit. And that way each cow is milked out like we want them to. They're not being over milked, they're not being under milked, and the guys can continue attaching on the one side as the other side is finishing up and detaching on their own, and then they'll post dip, and then the cows will head out and go back to the pens. In the basement here now, so that plunger is inside here. This is the milk meter. So now this plunger is raised up. This cow is producing milk. As you can see, milk's flowing through the valve here, through the meter. And this side is, most of these cows are done milking, so the plunger's down, shutting off vacuum upstairs. So it's that plunger, and then there's a little gasket in there that we're going to replace. This is that gasket, and this is the plunger. It just got some fine threads on there. So what I like to do is like to leave the equipment in milk mode. We can start on one side as they're finishing up the last cows on the other side. We can shut the vacuum at the end for the one side, and then we'll pop all of those off, or just a threaded cap on there. We pull that plunger off, and like to leave the plunger down, so in the closed position, because then it's easy to get a vice grip on there, twist this one off and get a new one on. And we do put some Loctite on there, because it can happen if you don't Loctite them that they'll unthread, and then they don't work like they're supposed to, obviously, because it's not able to protect that plunger. Alfredo and Juan are going to help me here today. They're gonna I think I'll probably have them clean, and then I'll be disassembling and reassembling the plungers and gaskets. But I'll show you that as we get started here. Got them all put back together here. We ran the first wash cycle already. It's filling the detergent cycle at the moment. We don't really get a lot of time to work on stuff like this. We're already a little behind. They're going to be a little behind starting here after lunch. We started around 11. That's about the time we finished milking, and then we needed to be done like quarter to 12, and we finished at probably 5 or 10 after 12. It takes about 45 minutes to run the wash cycle. It's 4 cycles through the pipes and the milking units upstairs. But we got both sides done here in one shot, so I'm glad to get that done. I do need to do the pulsators too, replace the parts inside of all of our pulsators. That's due to be done also, but glad to have this job done here. So I did film a little bit. I just had my camera sitting down, but essentially what we were doing, we can unthread this. I can do this one here. Pull this off, clean this ring up really good and the threads, and then clean this bottom part of this off, and then take this off, put new ones on, and then when you put it back in, you have to make sure that it's aligned. I'm going to do it with 2 hands to make sure that I get this right. I want to make sure that gasket's lined up good, and then thread this back on, and that's all there is to it. And there's air pressure. It's pushing the plunger down. When the air pressure releases, there's a spring inside that lifts that up. That's essentially how that works. Fairly simple, which is what I like. The more simple it can be, the the better. But got that done here. Yeah, like I said at the start of the video, if you're interested in buying gelato, cheese, or now fluid milk from our cows, check out cowsandco.com, and always available in Carrington at the on-farm store in Fargo, and they do deliver to, I don't know, it's probably more than 10 stops they make now throughout the state, typically once a month that they go to the major cities in the state of North Dakota. So yeah, if you have questions, comments, post them down below. Appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.